Welcome to day 2 of Activated. Today is going to be very special because it's probably going to be one of the biggest days because we're talking about the sacral energy. So, when it comes to our sacral energy, when it comes to activating all parts of us, the creativity that's within the sacral and the energy that is within the sacral is literally, it's like next to none. It is so ridiculously powerful because this is where we reproduce. This is what we do as, I want to say, creatures, as beings. We come from the root where we want to be in our communities. And then as we kind of grow up, we're developing this sacral energy, which is very much about individualization. It is about really experiencing the self and going, hey, I'm an individual amongst this collective, and we reproduce because this is what humans do. We reproduce, and it's hormonally we are wired to make more of us. So of course this is going to be a very powerful conversation, and there's a lot I want to go through today, and we've got a very limited amount of time, but a powerful process to go through today. Okay, so let's get into today's training. The sacral. So the sacral, if we're going to give it a color, it's orange, and we can balance this. We're going to do this today. We're going to balance it, clear it, and cleanse it, and activate, of course. Now, the sacral is a motor, and this is what we talk about in human design. So we've got a defined sacral or a non-defined sacral, and I'm not going to go into HD too much, but to give you an example, like we get a lot of energy from the sacral because this is for reproducing ourselves. This is where our womb is. This is where the turn on is. We have literally, I've got a whole lot of information here. I've been studying this stuff so I can give you the right information. So the lower abdominal, pelvis, reproductive system, kidneys, bladder, upper part of the large intestine, the colon, all of this is a part of the sacral. And we have a lot of trauma, a lot of sexual trauma as women. And not just from our lives necessarily, which I would say 99% of people do have sexual trauma in one shape or, form, but it's also been brought through from our ancestral lineage. So we are carrying this trauma within the sacral, within our bodies. And this is what we want to clean out today. We want to clean out and do a whole lot of Reiki fire and a whole lot of cleansing and activating so we can go forward into the highest expression of this chakra. So when we're in the lower expression of this, we can have massive amounts of pain, our menstrual, we can even get things like IBS. Literally, we can have bowel spasms, we can have problems with our legs because of course it's all going to go down because of gravity. We can have copious amounts of troubles, including energetically. So for instance, we may have no libido, or maybe we have an overdrive where it's kind of like not healthy. So it's like an addiction to sex. We may be like not creative. Maybe we're just like, nah, there's just nothing there. And maybe we just even feel numb. And if this is the case for you, then don't worry, because you can actually unwind the trauma and go through your own sexual healing, because it's not just about the intimacy with another. It's really about safety. So we talked about this in the root, but this is a whole new level of safety. How are you going to be accepted into the world when you start being the individual expression of yourself rather than being a mirror of mum and dad, or doing what mum and dad or your caregivers told you to do? Let me know if this is making sense for you. So the lower expressions of these is, how do we bring ourselves out with our own individualization, our own creativity to the world and be accepted? So there's a couple of things we're going to reprogram today when it comes to the lower expression of this sacral. Now, I've had clients that have had immense pain with their bleeds, a lot of problems in their female reproduction system. And honestly, after working with me, working through their stuff, they are now having so much joy with their bleed, so much joy with their sexual presence, with their sensuality, with their divine feminine. And a lot of the trauma comes from, we can now vote. Now we can be super mum. Now we can, and voting and being super mum is all great, but how much pressure do we have on being everything? So we can go into the wounded feminine and especially the wounded masculine. So when people come to work with me and come to things like this, we are wanting action. We are wanting um results. We are wanting this, we're wanting this, we're wanting this. And we can find it very hard to come into the presence of receiving and the creativity and the divine feminine and the sacred masculine to receive that because we've been go, 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 go. And the truth is, your sacral is tired. It's tired, it is depleted, it's carrying all this luggage from the past. And you're like, you want me to take on more? Right? Lower expression. The higher expression is this beautiful divine feminine. It is this deep orange energy. You know, I'm wearing a deep orange today. It's verging on red, but it's the energy between like I am divine, I am whole, I am creative, creative, not creativity. I am creative. I am this beautiful willingness to receive the wisdom of the masculine or from the world or the universe or those around me. I dance and I play within my own energy. I have got more than enough space to receive more, and I know my boundaries and standards. I dance with life and I play with flow rather than go, 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 go. So when we are healthy within the sacral energy, when we've been through the sexual healing, which is a collective thing, by the way, and we've got witch wounds, we've got all the thoughts. Like I say, this is a big topic. I'm just trying to like plug in some seeds so you can start growing in this, right? When this happens, we can really start blooming into this goddess that we truly be. We get away the weeds. We take away where everything is overgrown with other people's stuff, ancestral stuff, our own experiences. And we go, who am I truly? What is the sexual expression of me? What is the sensual expression of me? Am I activating my pussy power? Am I activating my sacral energy? What is this motor doing? Now, like I said, in human design, some of us are divine, some of us are not. I am not. As a projector, I do not have copious, endless amounts of energy. And that's why I say thank you. I say thank you to the sacral authorities, which is manifest generator and generator, because I receive your color. I receive information. I receive energy from you. I still have my own sacral energy, if you will. I have my own sacral expression of self, but I need a bit of gas. I need a little bit of energy, a little bit of contribution to spark me, right? So it's really interesting. And we're talking about ebbs and flows and energy, because there's a lot of energy in the sacral, and some people don't need anybody else around them. They can just have this individual experience of self continuously growing and expanding, where reflectors and manifestors and projectors, they do actually require contribution and colors from others to contribute to their energy. So it's very interesting. That gets more intricate into human design, but just to remind you, the experience of the individualization, when we're hitting around about 7, we're kind of like, well, who are we? You know, and what are we here to do? And I'm going to start, but your hormones start kind of turning on, and you're like, wow, you know, you start socializing with more people. You start going to more extracurriculum activities. You want to go a little bit further. You want to leave your property and go down the street on your bike and play with your friends. You're not doing that at 3 years old. You know, you're more stuck to mum. So we have had this imprint of our parents, and now we're coming into who are we? And some of us aren't actually accessing the proper sacral energy, the divine, healthy sacral energy, until we are like in our 30s. Quite often that happens. We've got to cut the ties to mum and dad and ask ourselves some real questions. So, what did you have to do for love when you were little? And Where are we still playing in that? And this is the trauma. Where am I still people pleasing or doing things I don't want to do or pretending I'm someone I'm not? Where am I doing these things because I'm doing it for love? Because that's what I was taught to do. Your body is sacred. And we're going to get into this practice in a minute because it's really important for us to be able to reflect and sit in what has been coming up for us. Last year was a sexual healing year for me. I didn't realize I had this trauma until I came into this deeply and started doing this work deeply. There's different layers. The deeper we go, we hit a bit of a threshold and go, okay, I'm going to work with this. So I sat with my 16-year-old self for an entire year and helped her heal from the conditioning of what she thought sex was meant to be. And it certainly wasn't a sacred experience. It was more of a get this done with because this is going to be a part of life. And unfortunately, that is the narrative that has been in our realities. So it's time to undo that and start coming into our own expression as an individual. So I talk about sacred self-service. I talked about this in one of my last masterclasses, and it's so important to put this practice into play. What am I going to do today? Is it journaling or pulling myself some cards, having a delicious coffee, wearing some lingerie, dancing to my song that makes me feel sexy? Is it having intimacy with the one that I love? Is it a beautiful bath, maybe drinking out of a wine glass, or even if it's water with bubbles and smells? I always have my incense and my candles, and I serve myself with yoga or dance or meditation before I serve the world. And this certainly has not been taught in our culture. Sacred self-service. How do you want to do your sacred self-service? I would like to know. So if you're here on the live, pop it in the comments. What is your sacred self-service and how can you honor yourself before you honor anybody else? That might mean you need to get up at 5:30 to have your coffee and your journaling and maybe doing a little bit of movement or maybe going for a run or going to the gym. Your sacred self-service can be touch and intimacy with yourself. And that's the thing, as we weren't taught to touch ourselves, we were taught to not touch ourselves and to serve others. And that is trauma and it's stuck in the sacral. How is this feeling for you guys? Let me know. Pop it in the comments so I know exactly where you're at. This is going to bring up a lot of stuff for you guys, and it may not just be coming up here because we're just downloading the information. It might come up afterwards. So really take care and be with your timeline self. She'll be popping forward and she will be requiring some love. So it may come in a situation like a memory of a situation. And rather than pushing it down, just ask her to come forward and sit with that memory and just love her. So doing some hopono, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, is really great to work with your inner self because all of these timelines do exist in the now and they come up at the perfect divine timing for you to be able to work with her. And just letting all of those words fall now and drop. So the practice we're going to do today that the guides have guided me to is we touched on this yesterday actually in the root in day 1, and that is Yoni breathing. Okay, so the Yoni breathing is very powerful because it's going to be activating from the perineum, from the anus, from the sex organs, like we talked about yesterday, and we're bringing it up. And this is a practice that we do in Kundalini. So we're bringing it up, 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 and we're holding it with our breath. And I like to bring it right up to the third eye gaze because we're bringing it up, nearly up through the crown type of thing, if you like. And then as we're breathing out, I visualize my beautiful, like kind of pussy power energy, sparkles and magic, because that's what we are as the feminine. And I imagine it just spreading on the floor and around the world. Okay, so you want to do it with me? We breathe in and up. Bringing in the perineum, bringing out all of the organs up, 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 third eye gaze through the top of your head and breathing it audibly out. Okay, and again, breathing in and up. This is balancing all the chakras as well, okay? So we're really working on that sacral right now. And one more time, and have your feet on the ground, because of course, when we're breathing out, we're actually transmuting any of the old energy as well. So we're breathing in and up and holding it, third eye gaze, straight through the top. This is all the high vibration, and breathing out. You can do it the opposite way. So when you're breathing out, you can, when you're breathing out, you can bring it up. And then when you're breathing in, you can release it. That confuses me that way, but you can do it that way if you choose to. The yoni breathing can go both ways. Okay, so the sacred self service, the yoni breathing, and also bringing in music. The sacral loves music. It's creative. It's a creative expression that somebody has literally created or channeled out. So this could be you. You could be singing your own light language. I invite you to sing light language. I invite you to put on a song. Like my song of the year is a really sexy song. It's like every time I hear it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I want to get down. It's got hip hop, it's got a female and a male. So it's kind of like that masculine and the feminine. And it just makes me feel a little bit naughty, a little bit sexy, a little bit sensual, a little bit like I want to take off my clothes and actually dance, you know? So you want to find a song that is the embodiment of your divine feminine, that makes you want to kind of surrender and can even make you want to cry. You're just like, oh my goodness. So that is the practice I want to invite you to today. Go onto Spotify, find a song that you love, pop it in this group if you want to. I'd love to know what you're choosing. And yeah, practice the yoni breathing. You can do it 3 times in a row. Or maybe you add it to your sacred service, and maybe you do this while you're moving your body, while you're moving your hips. And that's what the guides told me as well, is like, I know I'm sitting right now, but you can do this while you're moving your hips. I often do this in my spiritual magnificence. I'm like, come on, guys, let's move our hips and let's even move our shoulders. And obviously open jaw, open wrists or palms, sorry, open yoni. And I learned this when I was birthing, when I was doing hypnotherapy. And when I birthed, I would breathe in and I'd go and breathe out. And that's how I birthed my baby. And this is how we birth our creativity to the world. How does this feel for you guys? Okay, so I'm going to get you now in your own time to close your eyes down. And we're going to do a little meditation to clear, cleanse, and activate the sacral. And also a little bit of light language is going to come in. A little bit of light language is going to come in to really bring all of this energy, this teaching in today for you. Beautiful. Closing those eyes down, taking a nice deep breath all the way down into your pussy. And breathing out and relaxing your entire body, your jaw, your wrist, your yoni, your ankles, anywhere that you are holding tension. I invite you to breathe in again into that area. Breathe in the warmth and the sparkles of your magic. And as you breathe out, releasing that all, doing a scan from the top of your head all the way down to your toes and relaxing even deeper now. Beautiful. We come into the sacral area. Okay, which is just below the belly button. And you may notice that your body might want to move, or maybe it wants to stay still and just receive. Anything is valid. And now I invite you to visualize a beautiful spinning wheel. We're going to spin this wheel. It's just below your belly button. The color is orange if you choose it to be. And which way would you like it to spin to balance this chakra, the sacral? Left or right? This is for you to choose. And we're spinning it now. And the orange is getting brighter and brighter and lighter and lighter. That's it. And now the wheel is spinning faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. So any entities or any black spots or anything that is not in alignment with the highest vibration that you choose to be. Leaves, just flings on out of there. Clearing and cleansing the sacral. Now, you can pop your hands down into that space if you choose to, or not. I'm just balancing this chakra. It is safe to love. It is safe to be loved. It is safe to be you. It is safe to show yourself as who you be completely. Your body has got you. The world has got you. The universe has got you. It is safe to receive. It is safe to flow. It is safe to dance and sing and be happy. The world requires your creativity, your divine feminine, and your pussy power. As you turn on and ignite your pussy power now, your divine feminine, your creative juices. You are sensual, you are beautiful, you are divine, and anything that doesn't align and agree with that, anything that does not work in your favor of being the most powerful being that you truly be, can leave immediately. Your individual magnetism, your sexuality and pleasure, your creative expression is all welcome in this world. Let others that are triggered by you activate, and those that activate by you acknowledge you. As you light your yoni, light it on fire, light your body and your aura. Choose a flame, whether it is orange or maybe it's a different color. And the light language comes through now. Ia mopa karibubati, mopa karibiki ha mopa kea tukumapa. Ia mopa keri, mopa keri, mopa tu pipi keri bibikara, mopa ribibi keri bitu bibikara, mopa keri bibikara, tukubepera babakara. Ia koni bibiti bibikara babakara mihiu wa bikara. Ia ngangang on tiki bibiki, ia ko papere bitu bibikara, mopa keri bibiti, mopa keri bibikara, mopa kara. Ia na tiki biberi o babiki ia babakari hu bibiti, mopa keri bibikara babare tu, mopa keri bibiki, mopa keri bibitu bibikara, mopa keri bibi papare bibikara tiko, mopa keri bibikara. Ia nuku te bibikara mopa, ia babakare mabiki taka. Letting that land, feeling the turn on, the activation. Your psychic abilities are within your creativity, which is now activated, cleansed and cleared and activated. As the DNA now that has been stagnant turns on and the memories start flowing through of who you were, who you are, and who you will be unapologetically as the individual expression of yourself, which is a part of the whole and the collective. Breathing it in and breathing it out. Bringing yourself back into your body from wherever you have drifted. Blinking your eyes open when you are ready. Having a look about around the room. Feeling settled in your body and being nice and energized and ready for the day. Alrighty. Thank you for being here with me today. There's so much more we could delve into, but to be honest with you, this is a very powerful session, powerful activation, powerful meditation. So be sure to be gentle. Be sure to look at those practices and add them into your routine. And I will see you guys tomorrow for day 3 of Activated. See you soon. Bye for now.